Current time is 3 p.m.
Keep the faith, internet radio. The home for great soul, lost soul is Motown.
Live now on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. This is Bob's Sunday Soul.
It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to some great tunes. Join Bob Hutchins for 2 hours across the board. Soul music, our one we have on this day, and a Motown double playing in the second hour. It's time for listener request and another 2 tunes from Berry Gordy's great stable. This is Bob's Sunday Soul on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome along to Bob's Sunday Soul here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. I'm Bob Hutchins. I'll be with you till 5 o'clock this afternoon, playing a great mix of soul, rare soul, northern soul and Motown tunes for you. Before we start, just want to say a huge thank you to Pete Scoey Schofield, Tommy Gunn and Mike Hollis for the past 5 hours. Yeah, where does Sundays go? 5 hours of great shows disappeared before I come on air, and then following me, of course, 5 o'clock, Nutty Butty Sunday Smooth Soul Sessions, and then at 7, 3 hours from Mickey G live from Reykjavik, Mickey G's Strictly Soul on Ice. Okay, let's get going with today's show, shall we? Gonna start with Donny Albert and Run Little Girl. Getting us underway this afternoon on Bob's Sunday Soul, that was Donny Albert and Run Little Girl, B-side to Who's It Gonna Be, released on Gateway Records in 1964, produced by Donny Albert and John Sabatello, and composed by Donny Albert and Morris Bailey. Run Little Girl, despite being the B-side, reached number 130 on Billboard's Bubbling Under chart in June of 1964. Wasn't issued in the UK until 1968, when they put it as the B-side to This Old Heart of Mine. You're listening to Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Welcome along. Frankie and Robert. It's called Love, but especially for Mickey, in brackets, it's been so long. Keep the Faith Internet Radio, and that was Frankie and Robert with a song called Love, in brackets, it's been so long. It was an A-side on the Tragar label from 1968, composed by the artists themselves, Frankie Brown and Robert Lee. Time for our On This Day slot, 27th of July. Yeah, we're into the second half of the year now. And it was on this day, 27th of July 1943, that Al Ramsey, bassist from American 1960s pop and rock group Gary Lewis and the Playboys, was born. He scored the 1965 US #1 single This Diamond Ring and 11 other US top 40 hits. Al Ramsey sadly passed away on the 27th of November 1985 at the age of 42. Also, happy birthday, born on the 27th of July 1947, to Shelley Clark. Shelley was an American singer, dancer and actress, best known as founding member of the 70s R&B girl group Honeycomb, who had the 1971 US #1 single Want Ads. And it's also today, on the 27th of July 1976, that Tina Turner filed for divorce from her husband Ike, ending their violent 16-year marriage and successful musical partnership. The relationship had been physically, emotionally and financially abusive for years. She filed the divorce papers citing irreconcilable differences, and Tina wrote in her 2018 memoir, My Love Story, "He used my nose as a punching bag so many times that I could taste the blood running down my throat when I sang. He broke my jaw, and I couldn't remember what it was like not to have a black eye." Well, rather sad really, wasn't it? Such a great singer. And, well, 3 tunes for you. One from Gary Lewis and the Playboys, one from the Honeycomb, and one from Ike and Tina Turner. Keep the Faith Internet Radio. That was our On This Day tunes, kicking off with Gary Lewis and the Playboys with My Heart's Symphony, released on Liberty Records on the 8th of July 1966, produced by Snuff Garrett and Leon Russell, arranged by Leon Russell and Glenn D. Hardin, and it was Glenn D. Hardin that composed it. Billboard magazine reviewed it 23rd of July, and on the 30th of July it entered Billboard's Hot 100, reaching number 13. It was also released over here by Liberty Records on the 19th of August 1966 and spent 1 week on the Breakers list, 1st of September in 4th place. Second one, The Honeycomb and While You're Out Looking for Sugar, came out on Hot Wax Records in May of 1969, produced by Ron Dunbar and composed by Edith Wayne and Ron Dunbar. Cashbox reviewed it, as did Record World, on the 24th of May, and on the 28th of June it entered Billboard's Hot 100, reaching 62, and it entered Billboard's R&B chart on the 5th of July, and on there it reached number 26. The UK release on Hot Wax was on the 6th of November 1970, and Blues and Souls magazine number 47 reviewed it on the 20th of November. And then on to the third one, Ike and Tina Turner, backed by the Ikeettes, and I tried to choose one for Tina on this one where Ike didn't compose it, so I came up with the Jagger Richards composed Honky Tonk Woman, which was put on the B-side of Come Together, released on Minute Records in December 1969, produced and arranged by Ike though. Cashbox magazine reviewed the A-side on the 10th of January 1970, and it was a hit in the charts. UK issue of that single released on Liberty Records 13th of February 1970. You're listening to
Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
taking you back to 1960 now.
Every dance with the guy, the last dance for me.
There you go, a real classic there from August of 1960. The Drifters, Save the Last Dance for Me, came out on Atlantic Records, produced by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, arranged by Stan Applebaum and composed by Doc Pomus and Mort Schumann. The label itself actually states the Drifters were vocal quartet and Benny King. Billboard magazine reviewed it 22nd of August and it entered the Hot 100 on the Where are we? 5th of September. I had to check whether I'd written that in UK format or American format. And so 5th of September it reached Billboard Hot 100 and got to number 1, of course, as it also did on the R&B chart. Here in the UK, came out on London/Atlantic Records on the 7th of October 1960, reached number 2 over here. It spent 3 weeks at number 2 from the 7th of December onwards. Then again on the I put the same date in, so I can't remember, but it had 3 weeks at number 1, then it dropped, and then it had another week. But unfortunately, I copied the same date in twice, so I can't tell you when that 4th week was at number 2. 18 weeks in the charts, all told. Entered on the 9th of November at number 39 and disappeared from the UK Top 100 on the 8th of March 1961, final placing of 50. There you go. Wow, wow, wow. 18 weeks, 11 of which were in the top 10, 13 in the top 20 and 17 in the top 40. Just that final week outside of the top 40. Let's give a mention to some of our listeners already tuned in. Alan Steve Cotman up in Kettering, Wendy and Barry Pallett down in Slough, Mickey G over in Iceland. Good morning to Michael Cortorano in Cleveland, Ohio. And I suppose we'll just say good morning, although she's been up a while because she was listening to Mike Hollis. Hello to Woozle down there in Arundel. Oh, welcome to Bob Sunday Soul to everyone that's tuned in today, whether it's live or later on Catch Up. This is Judy Clay.
Why do I wait?
Oh, I do love Judy Clay's version of that Lonely People Do Foolish Things, an A-side on Scepter Records from October 1964, arranged by Gary Sherman, produced by Eddie Silvers and Gary Sherman, and composed by Eddie Snyder and Richard Arlett. Billboard magazine reviewed it on the 24th of October 1964 on page 16. Two of our presenters are up in Skegness this weekend. Steve O'Brien's gone up for the day today. Andy Bebbington DJing all over the weekend. But yeah, Steve and Andy up there DJing at the Courthouse in Skegness for the Soul Weekender up there. By all accounts, they're having a fabulous time. Steve just sent me a photograph of Andy behind the decks. You're listening to
And now, 2 tunes from 1970 onwards.
And we're going to start with this one from Joe Simon from 1973, Step by Step. There you go, that's 2 from 1970s onwards, one that probably we all remember, and one that perhaps many of you, a little funky one that you might not have heard before. Joe Simon kicked us off, Step by Step, an A-side on Spring Records from January 1973, produced and composed by Rayford Gerald. Billboard magazine reviewed it 3rd of February, and it entered Billboard's Hot 100 on the 17th of that month, reaching 37. It also reached number 6 in the Billboard R&B chart. Came out here in the UK on the 18th of May 1973 on Mojo Records. Reached number 14 in the UK chart on the 14th of July, spending 10 weeks in the charts all told, entering at number 49 on the 16th of June, and final placing of 39 on the 18th of August. So of those 10 weeks, 3 in the top 20 and 9 in the top 40. On to the second one, that was the Masters of Music and Trouble Don't Last Always. It was an A-side release on Lake Records in the United States with You Can't Win on the flip. Released in 1981, it was composed by Truman Manning. No UK edition of that one. You're listening to
Keep the faith. Internet radio.
There you go, that was Bruce Cloud with his own composition Soul Mambo on Motive Records from December 1963. You're listening to Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Here's the Gillettes. Yeah, the Gillettes for you, the same identical thing on J&S Records, released in September 1964. Composed by Howard, Williams, McKennan and Shepherd, with Cashbox reviewing it on the 3rd of October on page 18.
Putting the heart into soul music. This is Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
The Motown Double Play on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Going to start with the Supremes and I Hear a Symphony.
That's all I can do. Your eyes.
This is Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
There you go, our Motown double play for our one, kicking off with the Supremes and I Hear a Symphony, which was an A-side release on Motown Records from the 6th of October 1965, produced by Brian Holland and Lamont Dozier, composed by Holland, Dozier and Holland. Billboard reviewed it 23rd of October, and on the 30th of October it entered Billboard's chart, reaching number 1. Just made number 2 on the R&B chart. UK edition on Tamla Motown Records, released 26th of November 1965. It reached number 39 here in the UK on the 12th of January, initially spending just 1 week in the chart on the 15th of December at number 50. It then came back on the 29th of December at number 46 and left on the 19th of January at number 49. The second one, that was I'm Spellbound by Brenda Holloway. It was part of the unreleased 1966, which came out as a CD box set on the 15th of December 2017, and prior to that was just available as a download only.
Now, back to the music.
Here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio, this is Bobby Newton. There you go, that was Bobby Newton, also known as Mr. Togetherness and Burning Desire B-side on Branding Iron Records from don't know what year, to be honest, composed by Jesse James, who co-composed it with Morris Bailey. Good afternoon to Ted Jackson down in Hornchurch. Nice to see you on the Jack, Ted. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Jim Webb now as we go to 1968 here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. I Need You.
I need you so bad.
There you go, Jim Webb and I Need You. We all know that song, but that's the version from the man that wrote it, Jimmy Lane Webb. I Need You was put on the B-side of I Keep It Hid, which was released on Epic Records on the 3rd of May 1968, produced by Hank Levine, who also arranged it with Jim. UK edition of that was released on CBS Records 30th of August 1968. Well, who was Jimmy Lane Webb? Well, he was born 15th of August 1946 in Elk City, Oklahoma, and responsible for writing numerous popular and top 10 hits performed by various artists. You're listening to
Bob's Sunday Soul on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
I could listen to this song all day, every day. The fabulous Tommy Navarro, I Cried My Life Away, on D-Jack Records from March 1964, composed by Doug Morris. That's almost hour one done. Gonna play out with the Gay Poppers. I Want to Know.
Do you really care? Yeah.
Sunday Soul, live on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Welcome back to hour two of Bob's Sunday Soul. I'm Bob Hutchins with you for another hour with more great rare soul, Motown, Northern Soul tunes. In this hour we've got all the usual things, our 1970s double play, our Motown double play, and we've also got three brilliant requests from both Lardy and Barry Pallett to come. Gonna kick off the hour with the Esquires and You Say. The Esquires for you and You Say here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. It was an A-side on Bunky Records from February 1968, composed by Gilbert Mora, Marianne Johnson and Millard Edwards. Record World Review of that one, 17th of February. I'd say good afternoon to Glyn Evans in Melbourne, also Frank Holden in Germany. That was the Dynamics on Bob Sunday Soul with Whenever I'm Without You, an A-side on Top 10 Records from May of 1965, composed by Jerry Golden and John Molino.
Whenever I'm without you. Bob Sunday Soul on Good Faith Internet Radio.
It's request time.
Oh, my old man's a dustman.
It's time for Barry Pallett's requests.
Three absolute brilliant tunes. Just sit back and enjoy.
If they try love, they'll understand. Oh, try and understand.
KGFIUK, great soul music 24 hours a day.
Have a little mercy on me, baby. I need your mercy.
Well, every week I think Barry can't beat the ones from the week before, but boy does he do it. So there you go, 3 absolutely brilliant tunes from Barry. Kicked off with Zurban R. Hicks and the Dynamics and Lights Out. It was an A-side on RCA Victor Records from August 1967 with just the Dynamics, You Make Me Feel Good on the B-side. Produced by Larry Banks and Ticho Wiltshire, it was arranged by Gary Sherman and composed by Larry Banks. Zurban Richard Hicks was his full name, born 2nd of February 1945, and we lost him on the 5th of December 2001. Now the second one, what a beautiful, pretty tune. Absolutely gorgeous. I've played it half a dozen times since Barry asked for it. It was called Anyone Who Knows What Love Is, in brackets, will understand, released by Irma Thomas on Imperial Records. It came out in June 1964, produced by Eddie Ray, arranged by one of the greatest arrangers ever of soul music, I think, H.B. Barnum. And it was composed by Jeannie Seeley, Judith Arbuckle, Pat Sheeran and Randy Newman. Now it was released in the States as a pick-em pairing, sort of the equivalent of a double A-sided record over here. It was left up to the disc jockeys at the radio stations to choose which side they would play, because on the flip was Time Is On My Side. But it was Anyone Who Knows What Love Is that did get favoured, and it entered Billboard's Bubbling Under chart on the 20th of June and reached the Billboard Hot 100 proper on the 4th of July, reaching number 52. As a result of its success in the States, when Liberty brought it out over here in July of 64, it wasn't a double A-sided record. Anyone Who Knows What Love Is was released as the A-side, the big red A on the promo. On to the third one, Gene Wells, there's another cracking tune, Have a Little Mercy, released on Colour Records in November 1967, arranged by Horace Ott. It was composed by Dorian Burton, Paul Kelly and Clyde Otis. Billboard magazine reviewing it on the 2nd of December 1967. Now there was no UK issue of that, however Stateside Records did release it in Jamaica. You're listening to Bob's Sunday Soul here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Yes, the Night Brothers and You're My Love. That was the Night Brothers and You're My Love, the B-side to Nobody's Fault on Mercury Records from August 1967, produced by Jerry Butler, arranged by Phil Wright and composed by the Night Brothers, who weren't really brothers at all. They were an R&B duo out of Washington DC called Jimmy Dix and Richard Dunbar. Another duet for you, Bob and Earl, I'll Keep Running Back. You're listening to Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Bob and Earl, I'll Keep Running Back, the B-side to Harlem Shuffle on Mark Records from October 1963, arranged by Gene Page, produced by Bob Ralph, Earl Nelson and Fred Smith, and composed by Bob Ralph and Earl Nelson, and the UK edition released 30th of July 65 on Sue Records. Very like that one.
Don't keep the faith, Internet Radio.
It's request time.
Watch out. It's the Foxes' threesome, as chosen by Lardy.
So can Lardy keep up with Barry? Here's Barbara Mercer kicking us off. Happiness is here.
K-T-F-I-R-U-K, great soul music 24 hours a day.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Keep the faith internet radio.
There you go, three great tunes from Lardy this afternoon. Kicking off with Barbara Mercer and Happiness is Here. I love that version of that. I think it's because it's an unreleased one. They probably never quite finished off the production of it. So it's got a great bit of rawness to it. It was put as the B-side to Sharon Soul, Girl Crazy, when also another unreleased one, when it was released by Goldmine Soul Supply Connoisseurs here in the UK in 1997, composed by George McGregor. Seven Souls, I Still Love You, never tire of hearing that one. B-side to I'm No Stranger on the OK record label from July 1967, produced by Larry Williams. It was composed by Henry Moore. And then one from my box, Gene Chandler and Barbara Acklin, from The Teacher to The Preacher, released on Brunswick Records in September of 1968, produced by Carl Davis, arranged by William Sanders, composed by Barbara Acklin, Carl Davis and Eugene Record. Billboard and Cashbox both reviewed it on the 5th of October, Record World on the 12th, and on the 19th of October it entered Billboard's Hot 100, reaching number 57. It also reached number 40 on the Cashbox chart, and it entered Billboard's R&B chart 26th of October and reached number 16 on there. You're listening to...
This is Keep the Faith Internet Radio. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Katie Briggs, Last Time Around. That was Katie Briggs, Last Time Around, the B-side to Why Do You Do This To Me? Came out on Moss Ray Records, only one S in the Moss, released in October 1963, composed by Elliot Carpenter. You're listening to Bob Sunday Soul. Don't forget, top of the hour, Nutty Butty's Sunday Smooth Soul Sessions, and then between 7 and 10 tonight, Mickey G coming to you live from Reykjavik.
Bob Hutchins on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
And now, two tunes from 1970 onwards.
This is Oscar Perry, He Sent Me You. That was Oscar Perry, He Sent Me You, the B-side to Mother, Can Your Child Come Home, released on the Mercury label in November of 73. Arranged by Oscar Perry himself, it was composed by J. Potts and P. Ely. Listening to Keep the Faith Internet Radio. Another one in my box, Donny Burdett, Candle.
Just for you now.
Must admit, I normally play the other side of that out, which is What You're Gonna Do. Well, that was the A-side, Candle, released in 1991 on Sulking Records, composed by Donny himself. Both sides of that record were originally recorded in Detroit in 1971 and previously unreleased until that 45 came out.
Across the world. This is Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Tony Owens next on Bob Sunday Soul. This is called Confessing a Feeling.
And forevermore, the Lord.
That was Tony Owens and Confessing a Feeling, released initially in 1969 on the Soulin label, composed by Isaac Bolden. It was then later reissued on Cotillion Records in January of 1971. Producers were Isaac Bolden and Virgil Engeron, and arranged by Isaac Bolden and Warner Williams.
Bob Hutchins, bringing you the very best in soul, northern soul and Motown. The Motown Double Play on Keep the Faith Internet Radio.
Starting with the Four Tops, it's called The Sweetheart Tree. There you go, our Motown double play for hour two, kicking off with the Four Tops and the Sweetheart Tree. I bet a lot of you are thinking, I've never heard that before, but it was unreleased, where you'd be wrong. It was track 5 on the B-side of their album Yesterday's Dreams, released on Motown Records in August of 1968, composed by Johnny Mercer and Henry Mancini. The record sleeve for that album filed for copyright on the 30th of August. Here in the UK, it came out on Tamla Motown Records in the January the following year. Second one, that was Choker Campbell and his big 16-piece band, Mickey's Monkey, which was track 2 on the B-side of their album Hits of the 60s, released by Motown Records, 22nd of February 1965, composed by Brian Holland, Lamont Dozier and Edward Holland Jr. The album was released over here on Tamla Motown Records in June of 1965, and here in the UK only, not in the US. It was also released as a single. They changed the band's name slightly to Choker Campbell's Big Band. It was an A-side release on Tamla Motown Records with Pride and Joy on the B-side, released 4th of June 1965. Disc Weekly did a review on the 5th of June, and on the 19th of June, Record Mirror did a review. You're listening to Bob Sunday Soul here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. This is Tangiers. Let my heart and soul be free. One of those records I wish I could afford to buy. Tangiers, Let My Heart and Soul Be Free, released by OK Records in November 1968, arranged by Nick Barker, produced by Bolin and Plato, and composed by Plato, whoever he was. What a cracking tune. You're listening to Bob Sunday Soul. Tony Richards, I Feel Alright. Tony Richards, I Feel Alright on Columbia Records from the 3rd of October 1966, composed by J. James. Cashbox reviewed it 15th of October 66. Got one more record to play you. It's the Inverts. Lookout Love. Bringing Bob Bob Sunday Soul to a close for another week. That was the Inverts and Look Out Love on Tower Records from March 1967. Produced and arranged by Gene Red. It was composed by Barry Barney. Cashbox reviewed it 15th of April 67 on page 26. Copyrighted on the 10th of March 67. I want to say a big thank you to everybody that's tuned in this afternoon. I suppose some of you, of course, are going to go off and watch the football. For those of you that don't, up next it's Mickey G's not Mickey G, no, it's Nutty Buddy's Sunday Smooth Soul Sessions, followed by Mickey G at 7 o'clock, 3 hours of fabulous music from Mickey as always. Of course, 2 hours of fabulous music from Buddy too. All that to come here on Keep the Faith Internet Radio. I'll be back at 3 o'clock next Sunday to do it all over again. If you'd like requests, please get them in to me by Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. Enjoy the rest of Sunday. Have a great week, folks. Bye for now.
Bob's Sunday Soul has been a Bob Hutchins radio production for Keep the Faith Internet Radio.